A very good evening to all of you, and welcome to this week's weekly market presentation. So, as usual, we will be talking about this week's market performance and also the key economic highlights that will become a major headline for this week. And also, we will be looking at the global commodity market updates and international financial market related news as well. So, starting off with the Colombo stock market related news, the ASPI index and S&P/SL index both fell significantly throughout this week's trading sessions. So, looking at Monday's trading session, ASPI further declined by 542.76 points to close at 11,537. Further fell down from its previous close in the previous week, and S&P/SL 20 index altogether with that fell 207.87 points to close at 3,932.78. As with the reason that S&P/SL 20 index fell by over 5% from its previous close, market proceedings halted for 30 minutes. So this was the said decline in both the indices were said to be majorly because of the ongoing economic worries and the continuation of power and energy crises as a result of existing forex shortages. So this might be the reason for the market, the sentiment remained to be negative for a couple of weeks now. And when we're looking at the market turnover for Monday, that was amounted to be 4.2 million, and foreign purchases topped for the day, amounting 102 million. On contrary, only 22 million worth of foreign sales were reported. So during previous months, coming from the previous year 2021, we've seen majority of the foreign selling going out from the market. Foreigners kept on exiting from the market, but on the contrary, foreigners kept on buying much more. So foreign purchases were wanted to be higher from foreign sales. So when it comes to Tuesday, market slightly bounced back to green territory with only a slight increase, whereas ASPI gained only 0.93 points to close at 11,592.3, whereas S&P/SL SL20 index also gained 4 points to close at 3,936.96. And the analyst they're predicting that as far as the fuel crisis and all sort of the crises, economic dilemmas to continue, we can expect the market, the in-depth market, the negative sentiment will be continued for a period of time. And the daily turnover for the day declined from the previous day's turnover, which was only amounted to be 2.8 million, and for the second straight session, foreign purchases stopped at 104 million, whereas only 23 million worth of sales reported. And V1, Commercial Bank, and Sampat kept the market steady, but the market breadth of the market remained to be negative, with majority of the counters witnessing losses. So then again on Wednesday, market further fell down, whereas ASPI lost another 374 points to close at 11,217.76, and S&P/SL 20 index also lost 145 points to close at 3,791.57. And market turnover was anyhow higher, increased from the previous day's turnover and amounted to be 4.5 billion, sorry. And the market heavyweights, including Expo, Bill, LOFC, made hefty losses and pioneered to drag down the index. And foreign purchases again topped the day and amounted to be 170 million, with only 103 million worth of foreign sales. So market further declined during Thursday session as well, and that reported the biggest loss of point for the week, and the ASPI lost by 160 points to close at 10,657.05, and S&P SL 20 index also fell by 206.9 points to close at 3,584.58, as the S&P SL 20 fell more than 5% from its previous close. Both the trading sessions during Wednesday and Thursday market hold for 30 minutes respectively. And for the day, turnover amounted to be 3.7 million. And anyhow, for the fourth straight session, foreigners continued to buy from Colombo Stock Exchange and reported a net foreign purchase of 117 million uh, against 54 million worth of foreign sales. And during the last trading day, during the Friday's trading session, market bounced back to positive territory by gaining 450 points to close at 11,107.90, getting back to a benchmark level about 11,000. And S&P SL 20 index also went up by 157.75 points to close at 3,742.3, and turnover was amounted to be 4.2 million, whereas selling top of the day, foreign selling top of the day amounting 286 million, whereas only 124 million worth of foreign sales were reported. So altogether, ASPI declined by 4.17% during the week, whereas S&P SL 20 index declined by 4.84%. But on a positive note, the Colombo Stock Exchange gained net foreign inflows worth of 131 million for the week ended 25th February. So then going and looking at the key economic highlights for this week, tourist arrivals to Sri Lanka notably picked up. As after 31st February, a total number of 155,375 number of tourist arrivals were reported to Sri Lanka. And with that, the tourism ministry has renewed their expectations of getting 200,000 tourists per month. And main sources for the tourist arrivals, the main targeted markets for Sri Lanka to get tourist arrivals was Russia, and that was followed by India, United Kingdom, Ukraine, and also Germany. So, with the ongoing trend, with the gradual recovery that was witnessing in the tourism sector, the tourism ministry, altogether with Sri Lanka Export Development Authority, made new initiatives of supporting and giving insights and knowledge, the education to registered tourist guides, and they are also be given allowance to support their ongoing activities within the tourism sector. And also, very recently, it was reported that Sri Lanka is going to host the biggest post-pandemic summit, which was organized in collaboration with Travel Agents Association of India in mid-April, and the agreements between the two parties were already signed on behalf of that. And with that, it is expected to use this platform as an opportunity to promote inbound tourism to Sri Lanka, whereas outbound tourism to India, and also those kind of various travel related opportunities are going to utilize or going to be benefited from the summit that is going to happen in the mid-April. So, we should be happy that the Sri Lankan tourism industry being one of the major revenue stream to gain forex to country. It's gradually recovering, and we can be happy for that. But with the ongoing conflicts, the geopolitical conflicts between Russia and Ukraine can have a possible impact on Sri Lankan tourism, because Sri Lankan, the main source of getting tourist arrivals was one denoted to be Russia, and another one is Ukraine. We are targeting customers or tourist arrivals from both of these ends. So the existing conflicts, the war, the attack that is currently ongoing can have a possible impact on Sri Lankan tourism industry. So should have to put a keen eye on that aspect as well. And the next one, exports for January picked up by 13.4% to report a net amount of US dollars 1.06 billion. And the year on year that was gained by 13.4%. But anyhow, from the value recorded in the December 2021, that was declined by 63 US dollar million. And services sector also picked up to record a net value of 313.2 US dollar million. And it's said like Sri Lanka need to find much more of export market, not just you and the US based markets, but also Sri Lanka's presence in Asian region should have to be expanded. And the proposed preferential trade agreement with Bangladesh will be a good opportunity for Sri Lanka to enhance its presence in the Asian market as an exporter. And but anyhow, uh, the surging fuel prices can have a negative impact for country's trade balance, because the continuous price is going continuously up when it comes to fuel, and being the top import source import category for Sri Lanka, they can have a negative impact on country's trade balance. And the government is targeting to get 20 billion USD of exports for this year. And with all the ongoing crises, the exports can be considered as one major way of getting enough forex to country. So it should be supported by anyhow. And then moving to the treasury yields for this week, treasury 3-month treasury yield went up, but on contrary, the 6-month and the 12-month yields declined. For this week, treasury bill auction held last Wednesday, and out of the 80 billion worth of treasuries offered, only 64.5 billion worth of treasuries were accepted, and a 3-month treasury yield went up by 11 basis points from 8.50% to 8.61%, whereas 6-month yield declined by 1 basis point from 8.47%. Sorry, it's 8.54% to 8.53%, and 12-month yields also declined by 4 basis points to reach 8.53% from 8.54%. So this week, when it comes to foreign exchange rates, LKR depreciated again USD and Japanese yen, whereas it was slightly appreciated against GBP and EUR. So when it comes to global commodity market updates and international financial market updates, both all the news are linked to the ongoing geopolitical conflicts between Ukraine and Russia. So as of Thursday, Russia attacked Ukraine for the first time, and Russia was warning about this particular thing for a little while. And Thursday, it made a huge military attack on Ukraine by air, land, and also sea, making the biggest attack by one state against another in Europe since World War II. And the conflicts arose when Russia demands for an end to NATO's eastward expansion, and the tensions between Ukraine and Russia went out of control after Ukraine president went to meet president to let Ukraine join into NATO. So as a result of that, with a considerable period of conflicts that are ongoing, the Russia made the decision to attack Ukraine, and with that, the US and some other coordinated countries made a decision on imposing sanctions against Russia. So as of that, there was a huge impact to global commodity markets, being Russia being one of the major producer for oil and also aluminium. The global commodity market prices went up, and so as when we come to international financial markets for during the very first days of the week, markets declined because of the ongoing worries and conflicts regarding this possible war. And then after US imposing sanctions against Russia made a positive impact on international financial markets, whereas majority of the markets regained on Friday to have profits. So all the information that are related to global commodity markets and financial markets are related to this aspect, whereas some tend to see this as a positive. The imposing sanction was as a positive concern for the, but claim that the penalties are not severe than expected. But on the other hand, global commodity markets being so worried about possible supply disruptions if USA and the other coordinated countries continue to put sanction on Russia, so that can have a possible impact on providing oil and aluminium and other sort of import and precious metals. So that's basically from my end. No matter what the situation is, a war should not be encouraged, and we should not look forward to have a possible sort of the advantages that can be yield from a war because it gets people's lives. So yes, that's it from my end, and here onwards, Harin will continue the presentation.
Thank you, Sachini. So let's look at gold. What has happened during the past few days? So due to the war, we were able to see the daily resistance of 1940, 1960 got getting tested, and also on 24th February it made a low high of 1974.48. So after making that relevant high, we were able to see a bit of declining again. So probably in the coming week we might be able to see the gold price of gold hitting the daily support level 1840, 1860. So and also previously when the price reached the daily resistance of 1940, 1960, it was somewhat above the level of 70, RSI level of 70. So at the moment what we can see is it is still trading above the 18 moving average and below 8 moving average. So trading below 8 moving average indicates that in the short term there could be some sort of a declining momentum. So therefore daily support 1840, 1860 could be fairly tested as the price has gone below the level of 1900 psychological area. And looking at our all share index, so the all share index managed to make a low of 10,656.18 on 24th, and on 25th we were able to see it the candle became green, and there was a bullish momentum, and it made a high of 11,139.32 and managed to close at 11,107.90. So since it is above the level of daily support 10,950, 11,000 being a psychological area, we might be able to see some sort of a lower high formation towards the daily resistance 11,450, 11,500, only if the index sustains above the level 11,000 psychological area. So this was fairly because, and one reason is in the daily chart, the RSI started go below the level of 30, and which was basically indicating also oversold, that it is going below the third level of 30 indicates the oversold signal. So therefore, now that it is above the level of 11,000, we might be able to see it making a strong pullback to the daily resistance 11,450, 11,500 during the next week, and thereafter only we'll be able to see whether that 11,500 will be broken, or whether the index would come down to the daily support level of to 10,950, 11,000 once again. So the moving average indicates still there's a bearish momentum as the index is trading below the moving averages. So and since there's a gap between the moving averages and the index, mine at least lower high is currently needed to test the moving average at 8 moving average from the moving averages that I have added. So looking at Bill, our topic of the week, RSI is currently 26.97, and it is below 30, which indicates us a oversold signal from the RSI. So Bill basically made a low of 10 rupees on 25th February, and after making that relevant low, it managed to pull back and close at the price level of 11.1. So the next daily resistance is at in between the level of 1170.12. So this could be fairly tested in the coming week, since the RSI is also quite oversold at the moment. So, and also looking at the moving averages, what we can see still it is trading below the moving averages. But the 8 moving average is somewhat getting close to the daily resistance 11.712. So at that time, we'll be able to see testing the 8 moving average and also the daily resistance 11.712. So if it breaks 12, definitely we'll be able to see the bullish momentum of it carrying forward to the next daily resistance 13.714. Else, if it gets rejected from 1170.12, it might drop again to the daily support level 10.30 again. So, thank you. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Thank you.